So I'll just leave everything to Harriet Adi to introduce our guest, and then the discussion for the day will just start.
Okay, so as Nanaya said, there's a distinguished guest among us, a special guest, and it's a privilege to have him here. It's been a while we heard from him. I'm sure he's been doing music, but maybe we don't hear of it as often as we used to hear some of his music back then. And our guest today is Moses Osei Kwarteng, popularly known as Moses OK. I am honored to be the one to introduce you, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my dear.
How are you doing?
Greatly blessed, and yourself?
I'm okay. I'm sure my co-hosts are all doing well as well. And before we even go into, I know you're here to promote your music, but we have to talk about industry and stuff. And I want to jump straight to the question we're asking you backstage. I mean, before we even started the show, it appears you're older than you look, because you look quite young. How old are you, if I can ask?
That what I think I have to ask my mom.
But if many years ago, I mean more than 2 decades, it was out there that you were 53. Yeah. Then for now, I'm wondering why you're
yes. 2 decades ago, right? 53, and I mean 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
So it means that it would be 73.
Exactly.
Right. I don't think you're 70.
Yeah.
Maybe I think so. Because even at that time, he didn't look 53, and I was like, no, this can't be true. Like,
Okay, actually, it's not true.
Okay.
At that time, when it was around 2004 or 2005, there's this program they were showing on TV3. It was called, is it Flashback? It was a Christian program, and on that show, before we started the actual interview, the one who was hosting the program asked me of my age, and I was trying to make some fun, and I said I'm 53. So when I said I was 53, he laughed, because at that time I was very young and saying that I'm 53. So when I said it, he told me that when we're having the interview, I have to say that I'm 53, thinking that maybe he'll make some joke out of it. But when we're having the interview, he asked me, and I said 53, and he did not comment. He did not laugh. So anyone that watched that interview thought that I am 53. In fact, some way, somehow, it helped me, because it prevented some ladies from
Someone tell you it's just a number.
At that time, it's not like this era.
Okay.
I think this era, the young ladies are too adventurous. Because around that time, like some ladies were not comfortable with the age 53. You can give birth to them, so they decided to stay off.
Wow.
Okay.
But at that time, were you married?
No. I was not married.
So it paved way for the missus. Actually come and be comfortable with the age.
Yes.
I know, right? But tell us, what inspired you to start a gospel career? And did you know that this was your calling?
When I was young, I knew that God has a plan. He has a purpose for me to do His work. So I started doing the work of God, like going out to evangelize, going out to visit church members. I started doing that work at a very tender age. I used to go out to preach. I used to go out to evangelize. And sometimes when I go out, people will despise me. They will look down on me because I was young and very lean, very slim. And now I've become very fatty. I've become big.
This is fatty.
No, I would say you become more fleshy.
Because this is not fat at all.
But when I saw it, because then I was really slim.
Right.
So I'm saying now he has become more fleshy.
So you go to a place and they will despise you, they will look down on you. So I prayed and asked the Lord to give me the music ministry so that I'll use the fame, the popularity to reach out to people. So when I prayed that prayer, God answered the prayer. I started composing songs from that moment, and that's how the music ministry came to be.
Wow. And I mean, from your time when you started doing music, it's been quite different. Things have changed, obviously.
Oh, yes.
The digital age, streaming of music and all that, things have changed. So comparing then and now, the challenges that you had back then, are they the same challenges that are in these times?
I think when you look at the mode of promotion when we were releasing songs at that time, we didn't have much TV stations, we didn't have much radio stations. At that time, Metro TV was still in existence, GTV, TV Africa, and I think TV3. Sorry. So when you are promoting the song, you just have to go to these 4 TV stations. And now we have, even in your building, we have two TV stations.
Yeah.
And some places, they can even have 3 TV stations there. And if you want to cover, the masses, you have to go to all these TV stations to make your work known to them. And we have the digital, and we have the social media platforms that are also taking much of people's attention, because somebody can go on TikTok and can spend the whole day there. So getting the songs to the people has become very difficult. But if God helps you and the song is strong, very powerful, on those platforms, people can pick it and use it to make people know. So it has become a bit different, but with the help of God, I believe you can sail through.
Okay. Now, in one of your interviews, you mentioned that transitioning from the old traditional way of promoting music to digital platforms has wrecked a lot of music careers. Do you have your songs on the digital platforms?
Yes, I just started putting things.
You just started?
I just started. Just this year. It was maybe 3 or 2 months ago. Then we have our own official page, which we are using to get our works to the people. But before that time, because I didn't have much knowledge, I didn't want to give it to people who would just take advantage of you. And we have a lot of them around. I saw on YouTube that they put my works there.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know how.
Money off it.
I didn't know how they did it. And we just started, but I think by the mercies of God, by the grace of God, people are streaming it now.
But do you still stand by that statement that transition to digital, music
Yes.
can wreck music
yes.
careers?
Oh,
You
yes.
still stand by that?
Oh, yes. Like, we have people who don't have that exposure and doesn't know how to go about it. A lot of them are there. So getting their works to be managed on this platform, you need to get a trustworthy person who can manage it for you. So if you don't have anybody, you may be a good guy, a good musician, but if you don't have people around you that can do that work for you, definitely there is nothing you can do about it. Okay. So some may not have people who will be doing that for them. So definitely you have to stay off till you get someone who can help you in that sense.
Now, gospel music has evolved over the years. Now we have a lot of genres, and your type will stick to the traditional, more like gospel, worship songs and all that. Now we have the urban, we have the Afro beat, we even have reggae and all that. Do you think that these genres has decreased the impact of gospel music on our society?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, because when I used to come out, like when I used to release albums, I come out with ballad, and we have salsa, it's salsa, and kakra be reggae. Medawasi waheme swama depa achimi ni mabusua ye. It's her life. Song like Tobua se treno, Tobua se menyame se nyame breswa. Oya dinina fe. That song is Boga Her Life. And yes, we have Boga Her Life.
So
a lot of genres
then
and
it was not really categorized into
no,
yes,
and
we
I
didn't
have
really know about them. Okay.
R&B's on my previous songs, my previous album. So it does not really change. Depends on the message you carry. Okay. If you have a strong message and you put it on reggae or Afrobeat
or even hip hop.
The Nigerians are doing hip hop and it comes here and it becomes a hit. So it depends on the message you carry and how you carry the message to the people. I think that's how to go.
And when it comes to gospel music, what is the biggest misconception about it that you feel that, okay, people think it's like this, but it isn't at all?
I'm
not getting it. Like,
let me just come in a bit. From the biggest conception, people feel different ways when it comes to gospel music.
Okay.
Some believe in the faith, where they are preaching the faith. Some believe that it could be any genre, but then it will just impact. From his perspective, you're asking him how
the biggest misconception about gospel
that maybe
music.
it's supposed to be this way, but it's not that way.
I'm trying to get the message, but I don't know. But for the gospel music, over the years, I believe it's one of the genre that many people appreciate, many people like. And those times when we used to release songs at that time, almost every presenter, when they are starting their programs, they will play our songs before they start their programs. Yeah, so I'm not getting the misconception that people.
So generally, there are no misconceptions about gospel.
Unless maybe there's
gospel
an instance
music,
where
what it is.
It is. It is. The impact. We are still making impact. We have so many of us making impact. I think that at a point, people were thinking that we were not doing songs that attract the youth.
Yeah.
That is what previously, but we believed that at that time we were making that impact. The youth were healing our songs.
Yeah.
And even this time we have the young ones who are also doing certain kind of songs that are attracting the youth. So
I mean,
it's
some
doing
people
well.
would say that as a gospel artist, you don't really have to focus on the money. It's, I mean, you're doing it for God.
It's the work of God.
Yes, work of God. So even when a pastor calls you to an event, you don't have to take money. You should be okay with a meat pie and drink that they'll give you.
Really, I know this time.
Is that how you want to treat me when you invite me to your wedding?
No.
So I think you want to just try to psych me up so that when you call me for your wedding, then you give me meat pie and you tell me that God bless you, Obetimenka. Is that what you're trying to do?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
I believe that the church has to come to that place where you understand that the ministry needs money to be able to make it work.
Yeah.
It's so important. It's so important. Most of us, the reason why we couldn't come out, the monetary aspect is part. Because if you have to even employ people to work for you, they have to be given something.
Yeah.
Aside that, the social media platforms we're talking about, anywhere you want to go, you have to have money to be able to sponsor.
Exactly.
If you want the message to get to the people, you don't just go there and pray for the song to go. You have to boost it
with money.
Exactly.
You boost it with money.
Yeah.
All the platforms, all of them. Yeah. So you need money for the work to
move forward.
Make that impact, reach the people that you want to reach. So I don't believe that when you invite a musician, you have to just tell him, "Oh, God bless you. God is going to take care of you."
No.
Bible says that a laborer is worthy of his wages. So when somebody does something like this, the church has to appreciate that person. And I tell you, coming back, I realized that the game has changed.
Exactly. I was thinking about
It has changed.
It
It
has.
has changed because those times you can use maybe 2,000, you can have a video. But this time, you have to be ready to pay not less than 20,000
Yeah.
upwards.
Yeah.
You know, so
And now gospel musicians cannot stand beside the flower pot.
The sea and the
so
flower.
now,
Times have
in
changed.
fact, I've realized that some of you grandma imo flowers are free area, so that we will not get the flowers to sell.
Yeah. But then on the back of what Harriet asked, what did you acquire
Acquired in what sense?
in the sense of making music at
Making
that time? Yes.
Okay, I got popularity,
Okay.
and I was able to get that fame that will give me the platform to
Yeah.
preach to people, and that's it.
But from the
But
monetary
money-wise,
aspect,
yeah.
In our time, the monetary aspect, some of us we didn't have too much, but we at least were not poor. God was taking care of us. But the perception that many people may have that because you have become known, popular,
Yeah.
so you have money. That one.
it wasn't.
So I
like
guess
that.
you were
So
focusing
is it
more on the word.
music.
Yeah.
You know, for
music.
Moses, I would say he's one of Ghana's top worshippers. So I
Yes.
think the passion was there.
There, it
But
was
the monetary
purely-
aspect, did you have a manager then?
No. That's why nowadays, anywhere I go and they ask me about manager, I make them my manager or managers because I don't know how to go about it.
Yeah. So you had no manager.
At that time, we used to have producers who
Okay.
produce you and they manage you.
And who
care
would
of
distribute your CDs
Yes,
and stuff.
yes. But when somebody is calling you for a program, they will just call you. They will just call you, and that's how it was.
So people were unable
and-
to more or less bargain that, okay, I want this or that. It was
You know, sometimes
like
it
that.
becomes difficult for some of us because looking at where we're coming from and where our interest is,
Yeah.
I always count it privilege when you invite me to come and minister to people. I enjoy leading people to Christ. After I've ministered, I'll share salvational message with them so that at least some will believe in the Lord. I'll minister healing to people. That's where my motivation was being derived from because when I minister and you see many people coming with testimonies of healing, that's where my heart was. So the monetary aspect was not the driving force.
Yeah. But from the scenes and everything that is going on now with regards to the music industry, I wanted to ask if maybe the perception that you leave everything for the producer and everything had to do with maybe individual decision or it had to do with the industry. But then I think I know what your answer will be. But then I want to find out, has things changed in terms of how the industry is moving, in terms of how gospel musicians are positioning themselves? With regards to the past and now, do you see a difference?
Oh yes. I believe I might say they are doing it right because I believe that being a brand, being a figure, you need people to work with, people that will be able to handle other areas that you can't handle.
Yeah.
So I believe it's right.
Yeah,
What-
and they are being daring too, because now, for years, we had an artist of the year who was from the gospel fraternity,
Yeah.
and this year we have two artists in that particular category, hoping that they will emerge the winners. So,
In fact, even previously they were having them.
Yeah.
But just that they weren't
But
winning.
yes, they will not give it to them.
so things have changed.
Oh yes,
And it's for
oh,
the
yes.
better.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
Okay, so for you, with preaching the gospel and then singing as well, it came hand in hand because we've seen a lot of musicians who were ministering the song of God and then later on they shift to preaching the word of God. But for you, all along it has been both in hand.
Actually, when I was doing the music, in those years, I was not pastoring, and the pastoral work came in barely a decade ago. So we started church around 2015. Yes, 2015. So at that time, I was not doing music, but I believe God was preparing us for the mainstream ministry, and that's how ours has been.
So can we say that that has been the reason for your break in music? You were focusing on preaching the word.
I stopped doing the music before the ministry came in, because my last album, which I were not able to release any album that we were able to promote, was around 2007.
You weren't able to promote.
Yes, actually, that one we were able to promote, but the subsequent ones that I did, I gave it to a producer, and unfortunately, he wasn't able to do it. So that one, people couldn't hear
about
that
it.
one much.
So which means that coming back now, you have learnt your lessons. So which means you are now going to have a manager, or is still the same old way?
I've been telling you this. Immediately you tell me about manager.
You are making the person your manager.
You are going to be the manager. So you are going to be the
I think we'll give that position to wifey. Say that.
You are the one going to do
No,
it.
wifey.
Okay.
But
yes.
is it difficult to find one? Because I think it's going to help you in a lot of, like you were even saying initially, that there are a lot of things that you can't personally do. But then when you give it to other people, they are able to handle.
Oh yes. We still working on it, praying about it.
Yeah,
And
because things have changed.
Right.
You need a structure.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need some sort of people around you.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I want to find out, I mean, you've been doing music for a very long time. Like we said, one of our top gospel musicians that went on a little break and is back. But then, what were some challenging moments you faced whilst you were doing gospel music at that time?
Challenging moments.
At least there's one that you felt was very tough at the time.
Do I have one? I shared this one with some people like the other time. There was a time someone invited me to their program in Tema, and I came from Kumasi. At that time, I was not driving, so I boarded SCC bus, and I came to the program. I came to Accra, and I took another car to Tema. And after the program, the man of God gave me 15 cedis.
Wow.
Yes.
That's how many years ago?
If I could remember, it was around maybe 2006.
Wow.
15 cities.
15 cedis. And that day when I was coming, I became very sick, very, very sick, because I thought that the man has cheated me. Because when I was ministering, people were coming and they were putting money under my feet and stuff like that, and people were slain under the power of God. So after that, I thought that maybe they are going to gather the money and
give it to you. Right.
give that one to me, and I'll be okay. But before I realized, they have just packaged 50,
It's not in an envelope.
Yes, I think so. And
Sorry about that.
and that's part of the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
I'm
part
sure you
of
never
the-
went back there again.
Oh no, they did not even invite me.
But Moses, unfortunately, we have to wrap up. But I cannot let you leave without talking about your latest projects that you're working on. Tell us about it and what inspired it. Just wrap it up for us,
Okay.
so that maybe next time we can have you, so that we can talk industry
Yeah.
conversation as well.
All right. This new song, when we started the church. I realized that it has been the Lord from day one. And when it got to our first year by the mercies of God, we got a place of worship. I used to go to that place to pray. And one of the days, whilst I was praying, it dawned on me that as He has been with me, He has to go with me for me to be able to do what is ahead of me. So that inspired that song, that prayer. And I realized that it can relate with so many people. It can minister to a lot of people, because when you are going to work, you need God to go with you. When you are going for an interview, you need God to go with you. When you are going to deliver, when you are getting married, you need God to go with you. Anywhere you want to go in life, anything that you want to do in life, if you want to start a new business, you need God to go with you. Because without Him, there is nothing you can do. And from my experience, I've realized that from day one, it has been the Lord who has been with me, who is making such impact in the lives of people.
Yeah.
Because when you check my song like Intime Pa Mini Na Wa Ye Mi Se Yi Erade, that song is 20 years and still is relevant. Song like Menina Nanti, Ifie Kakreni Oyo Yonkwa, Uni Misha Moda is still relevant. Osreta Wachi, Erade Uni Medino Yesemana Wasianam Yebonia for is 16 years, and by the grace of God, these songs are still making impact. And I realized that it's because He has been with me and He has been the one helping me to do what I'm doing. That's why I decided to bring this prayer out so that when you are getting married, are you married?
I'm not married, I'm
When,
single.
yes, when you are going to choose, when the guy comes to choose you, you ask the Lord to go with you so that you have the best in marriage.
Yes.
When you are pregnant and you want to go and deliver, He'll go
Lord
with you.
will
So
go
that
with
Is this a single off an album? Or?
it's a single.
Okay, all right. So we can get it on all digital.
Yes, we have it on
Okay.
Apple Music, iTunes,
That's great.
Spotify, Amazon.
Oh,
We have it all on all the
Nice.
digital stores.
anyway, so how can we? There's the same name, right? Moses. Okay.
Moses. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. It has been an interesting conversation. I'm sure we'll bring you back again to talk more. And so we have been talking to Moses Okay, and I know you enjoyed the conversation.